Are you tired of not having enough money? Are you tired of feeling stressed? Are you tired of having so many belongings or feeling like you're constantly buying things or managing the things that you own? Do you wish you were more free from your stuff? Do you wish you were more free in your life and you actually had financial independence and freedom, or at least you were working towards that? This is the video for you. I want to share with you how minimalism and adopting more minimalist principles is helping my husband and I be a millionaire in a couple of years as teachers. And so it's not only helping us financially, but it's helping us spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and in so many other ways as well. So I want to share some tips on what's worked for us and also some of the lessons about adopting more of a minimalist lifestyle, an essentialist lifestyle, and how it can maybe help you and solve some of those problems I was talking about. Okay, so the first benefit is definitely financially, right? It's definitely a financial benefit if you aren't spending as much. If you're more minimal or essential and you're only buying what you really need or what you really love, that's going to make a huge difference for your bank account. My husband and I are married. I've talked about the benefits of having either a high income or a dual income. So we have a combined income, so that helps us. We've lived on less than one income before, and that really helped us grow our wealth. And part of it was because we weren't buying all of these things. And so yes, we've gotten gifts, or when we got married, we had wedding gifts, but I even eventually realized a lot of that stuff I was just buying because I was told to buy it. Half of it I didn't even really need or use. And so really ask yourself, what do you want? What do you need? What do you want to have in your home? What lifestyle do you actually live? Like, I'm so simple. I like just investing in a really nice blender and maybe some, plates, forks, some glasses, and my tea mugs. I have my turmeric and ginger tea all the time. And water, a water cup, those are kind of the main things I need. I didn't need these roasters, all these different things. And so really get clear on what you want in your house and what you need, and it can really help. We just started decluttering everything. I'm like, I don't need that. I don't like that. If you've heard of the Cone-Marie method, right? It's like, does this spark joy? Does this spark joy? And so if it doesn't, seriously get rid of it. And what a privileged and blessed place to be. I understand, and I've seen that you're lucky that you can just get rid of stuff. Most people are like, I'm so fortunate to have these things, or you just want to hold on. But trust the abundance and trust the peace and the prosperity it will bring you by releasing some of these things out. No one really tells you the mental benefit and the emotional benefit. Maybe some people do, but I really felt that. Number one, it feels so good to have a home where you love everything in your closet, where you don't feel overwhelmed by all the stuff around you. There's so much science and studies on not having a bunch of clutter and how a mess in your environment can really affect your psyche. And even just cleaning things or having a straightened up house can bring so much calm and peace to you. And so a lot of people are ruled by their stuff. And especially if you live in a smaller place, we didn't have the biggest place. And so maybe all that stuff wouldn't have been as overwhelming. In our new house, there is more space. We're still working on filling it up. But it was so much. And it really was kind of stressful having just all these things and then not even liking it. And so if you don't like it, don't feel like you have to keep it. Another financial benefit is that you aren't actively seeking to buy a lot of things. Or I implemented a strategy called put it in the cart. So number one, I didn't go to the stores. I didn't go shopping very much, at all. I didn't just go look and browse. If I ever wanted to, I would go online, on Amazon, and I just fill up the cart, not fill it up, but put things if I liked it. And I seriously have screenshots on my phone of a sweatshirt that I wanted for over a year. And then eventually I bought it. Or even still to this day, there's some things I keep doing that. If I still like it after a longer period of time, it doesn't have to be a whole year or months. It could even just be a couple of weeks. But you'd be surprised with how often you had fun shopping for it, but you don't actually want to keep that. You don't actually want that in your house. And so a lot of times I'd be like, don't want that anymore. And I'd look at like my Amazon cart and what I'd save for later, and it was so many things, and most things I was really glad I didn't get. And of course, eventually there were certain things that I would buy, but a lot of times, like, you literally get dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter. There's multiple. That one is a reward chemical, and it makes you feel pleasurable and good when you purchase something. Dopamine is released with multiple things, and exercise and sunlight and listening to your favorite music, but it also gets released when you shop or buy something. So you literally feel good. Like, there's science behind this. And so you're not crazy. It's okay. But just know that instead of just going to shop to shop. Now, I did hear some advice from some people that said, give yourself a $100 Target budget, or if you like to travel or whatever you like to do, give yourself money for that. And Ramit Sethi talks about that, and I Will Teach You to Be Rich, is create your rich life. I realized that a lot of the things, or like getting things on my wedding registry, that was such a gift and a blessing, but I was doing things that I thought you needed to do instead of what does Elizabeth and Chase, my husband, what do we actually want? What do we actually need? What's going to help us thrive? And being okay and secure enough to say, you know what, this is good for me. And I'm okay not having all of these extra things. And it's just brought so much more peace. So put it in the cart, give yourself some time before you buy something. And if you still want it 24, 48 hours later, a week later, then you can go for it. Another weird one is I was fortunate. My parents gave me so much. You know, they really took care of my brother and I, and were able to, and invested in us. And we had everything we needed and more in our life. And so that was a gift. And so being able to maybe spend less and not necessarily go out and buy something every time I wanted it, it felt really good. It kind of felt really good to have less, or clothes, like to not go buy all of those clothes or all the nicest things, or to let my socks kind of start to wear down and get a little holdy. And I was like, all right, socks are $10, Elizabeth. You should probably go buy a pack of socks at Walmart or Marshall's or somewhere, right? But it felt so good to feel what it felt like and feels like to not have as much, you know? And we still had more than we needed, right? But I think in America and in a lot of countries there's such an abundance. There's such an abundance, which is a blessing, but it's kind of nice just to live on less and to not have this exorbitant amount of things. And it helps you to really appreciate what you do have and be excited for the things you get. Like, I was so excited and so proud of when I was able to get like my huge Vitamix blender. I used a calculation where it's pretty expensive. It's like $500 for this blender, but I use it multiple times a day. I also at the time was making recipes for Instagram, so I was like, hey, this is helpful for that. And when I did the calculation, like if 500 divided by how many times you use it, 365 days a year, it was like it was pennies. And so I did that calculation, but it felt so good to buy that instead of just, here's $50 here at Target, 75 here at Amazon, 100 here, 100 there, 500 here. Like, it felt really good to actually just say no to some of those other things so I could say yes to that one thing I really wanted, and then say yes to financial freedom, right? Like, to me, that was so much more motivating. And I'm sure there were times of the journey where I was a little more towards deprivation, and I probably should have just bought the sweatshirt or something. But I think it was really helpful and critical, because a lot of times we see wealthy people and you see what people spend, right? We see people with a nice car, you see people with that new car, you see people with their house or their clothes or whatever it is. You think, wow, they're so rich, they have all these nice things. We don't know that. They could be, right? They could be, and they could be totally fine and living within their means. But there's a lot of people, and statistics show how many people are living above their means or in debt. And They're buying everything to keep up with everybody, or just because they want it, but can they afford it? And for me, I don't want to have to work for the rest of my life, and I want to have more time with my son. I want to have more time working on projects that I want to. I want to work because I want to, not because I have to. And so for me, that was more motivating to be able to say no to those smaller purchases or things that add up over time. And so if you can find a reason, if you can find a why, if you can be willing to go on this spiritual journey and this beautiful journey, there's so many rewards in store for you. So minimalism not only taught me gratitude and appreciating what I have, or also what I had and the sacrifices my parents made and what they did for us, but it also helped to be more grateful in the moment and to just appreciate life instead of thinking about everything else or what I want or what I need, and just I'm grateful for what I have. And gratitude is a gift that you can give yourself and other people when you have abundant gratitude for your blessings, for health, for having your arms, for having your legs, for having a pillow, for having a new bottle of toothpaste or tube of toothpaste, to have clean drinking water. It just changes your perspective a lot. And we're so blessed in America and a lot of these countries that we have way more than we could ever need. And so really just stripping that down can really give you perspective and give you this new light and feeling and peace. Minimalism also helped me focus on what I actually cared about. How many of you have to spend so much time cleaning or taking care of things, or organizing and reorganizing and donating, or spending a lot of time at the store, right? That could be fun. I get it. Lately we've been going because we got our new place, and we went to Target yesterday and we got to pick a few books for my son and some new groceries, and that was fun, right? It's good. But there's so many other things that I realized I cared about more. And so instead of putting our time and attention into all of the stuff we own, where can we spend other time in service, in creation, in making more money, in relaxing and enjoying ourselves? You work all day, and then you have your beautiful family to spend time with and take care of, but then you have to do the dishes, and you have to make dinner, and you have to go buy this and go buy that and do this. It's a lot. And so when you can reduce those things, it truly is so transformative, because you have more time for the things you actually want to have time for. And if you want to have nice things to take care of, I still have nice things. I still have things that I want and desire and that I take care of, but it makes you really take care of those things. And instead of having all these other things that you don't even care about, and you're spending all this time, it's why the heck did you just spend 4 hours on this stupid thing that you wish you didn't even have in your house? It's silly, it's crazy, just reflecting on it. But I promise you, it will remove so many blocks and burdens and that energy zapper. I'm so big on how can we feel peace? How can we feel energy? How can we have time? Those are the most valuable assets. Our peace, our energy, how we show up, the time we have for the things that we truly enjoy and what truly matter to us. I also just had to have a tough conversation with myself. What do you actually want in your life, Elizabeth? What do you want? How do you want to feel? I've come on this channel and trying to share things and lessons that have helped me in my life and through the 20s and being an adult, or when my first software engineering job, and I'm just sitting there for 8 hours, and it was fine for a couple hours, but then I just stuck at the desk and I'm just sitting there. This is my life. This is my life. I've had multiple instances in my life where I'm this is how life goes. This is what adults do. And of course, not every adult is like that, but there are some similar patterns where you have to commute for 2 hours, or you have to sit in boring meetings you don't care about, or all this stuff. And so it's I don't want to add to that by buying all these things, or trapping myself in a situation I don't want to be in, or trapping yourself in jobs you don't want to be in for the rest of your life, or until you're 60, 70. That's a long time. If you like your job, if you like your situation, great. But if you are interested in something else, or if you're interested in exploring other avenues, like, why are you doing that? Why are you increasing your lifestyle when it's going to trap you? So I think like a lot of it came down to realizing I wanted freedom and peace and health and happiness. Like, I'm usually just a pretty peaceful, calm, happy person overall and just love life. But in adulthood, like having all these extra things and responsibilities and the burdens of the situations I was in, like it really bogged me down. And I didn't feel that light. I didn't feel that energy. I didn't feel that peace and that calm and that joy and zest for life. And I'm like, that is life. That is the point of life. I don't want to drown all of that and shove it down and dig it down in a tunnel and underground. I want to still be me. I don't want to lose me. And I think I see a lot of adults lose themselves, lose their health, lose their relationships, lose their soul and their spirit and what makes them come alive, you know? And my goal and mission is to reduce that suffering and to help people to see their potential and see that they can design their life and they have more control about their situations than they think. And so anyways, I hope this message resonated with you. Minimalism can truly change your life. I will share this video right here if you're interested on how I am becoming a millionaire as a teacher in my young 30s. I hope it's helpful. Consider adopting some of these things. I really think it can change your life. It's helped me, and I will keep sharing anything I can do that will hopefully help you too. Be blessed. You got this.